Imagine a cat with 28 toes instead of 18. It exists. His name is Jake, and he entered the Guinness Book of Records with 7 toes on each paw. Polydactyl cats defy normal anatomy, and the genetics behind their extra toes is one of the most remarkable stories in modern biology. Welcome to Cat Brothers. Today, we enter the world of polydactyl cats, those extraordinary felines born with extra toes. It's not a disease or a defect. It's a dominant genetic mutation that has fascinated scientists, writers, and sailors for centuries. We're going to tell you all about the science. First, the numbers. A normal cat has 18 toes, 5 on each front paw and 4 on each back paw. Polydactyl cats can have between 1 and 3 extra toes per paw. The most common average is 6 toes on the front paws. Prevalence varies geographically. On the east coast of the United States, it can reach 10%. The genetic cause was identified in 2008 by researchers at the University of Edinburgh led by Laura Lettuce. They published in Human Molecular Genetics that feline polydactyly is due to mutations in a regulatory element of the Sonic Hedgehog gene, yes, named after the video game. This gene controls toe development in the embryo. The Sonic Hedgehog gene, abbreviated SHU, is crucial in the embryonic development of all vertebrates. It acts as a signal that tells cells where and when to form toes. In polydactyl cats, a mutation in the ZRS regulatory zone causes the gene to be activated in a wider area of the embryo, producing extra toes. What's remarkable is that polydactyly is an autosomal dominant trait. This means that if one parent is polydactyl, about 50% of the kittens will inherit the condition. It doesn't need both parents to have it. A study by the University of California, Davis, confirmed this inheritance pattern in 2010. Ernest Hemingway is perhaps the human most associated with polydactyl cats. A ship captain named Stanley Dexter gave him a 6-toed white cat named Snow White in the 1930s. Today, the Hemingway Museum in Key West, Florida, houses between 40 and 60 descendants of Snow White. About half are polydactyl. The cats at the Hemingway Museum are protected by federal law. In 2003, the U.S. Department of Agriculture tried to regulate the colony. After a years-long legal battle, a federal court ruled in 2013 in favor of the museum, allowing the cats to live freely on the property. They are cats with judicial protection. Sailors have a special historical relationship with polydactyl cats. Since the 16th century, British and American sailors considered them good luck charms. It was believed that their extra toes gave them better grip on wet decks and made them better mouse hunters. Ships with polydactyl cats were preferred. This explains the geographical distribution. The highest concentration of polydactyl cats is found in historical ports, Boston, Halifax, Yarmouth in England, and the coasts of Wales. A study by geneticist Sarah Hartwell traced the distribution and found it coincides perfectly with ancient British maritime trade routes. Not all extra toes are the same. The most common form is preaxial polydactyly, where the extra toes appear on the thumb side. Less frequent is postaxial, on the pinky side. And rarely seen is central polydactyly, with extra toes in the middle. Each type is associated with different mutations in the ZRS regulatory zone. Polydactyl cats often seem to have opposable thumbs. These thumbs, called prehalluces, are not truly opposable like humans, but they give them superior grasping ability. Documented videos show polydactyl cats opening doors, turning knobs, and grasping objects with unusual dexterity for a feline. Does polydactyly cause health problems? Generally, no. The American Veterinary Medical Association classifies simple polydactyly as benign. However, in rare cases, the extra toes can grow at uncomfortable angles, trap nails, or hinder walking. The veterinarian should check that the extra nails are trimmed regularly to avoid ingrowth. There's a different condition called radial hypoplasia that is sometimes confused with polydactyly but is much more serious. In this condition, the forearm bones do not develop correctly, causing what's called hamburger paws. A study in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery recommends not breeding cats with this condition. Polydactyl cats appear in the early history of genetics. Charles Darwin mentioned polydactyly in cats in his work The Variation of Animals and Plants Under Domestication in 1868. It was one of the first hereditary traits documented in felines, years before Mendel's laws were rediscovered. Modern research has identified at least 3 different mutations in the ZRS regulatory zone that cause polydactyly in cats. A team from the Roslin Institute in Edinburgh, the same institute that cloned Dolly the sheep, published in 2014 that each mutation produces a slightly different pattern of extra toes. The genetics are more complex than thought. In the feline show world, polydactyly was historically penalized. The Cat Fanciers Association does not accept polydactyl cats in standard competition. However, since 2008, TICA allows polydactyl pixie bobs in exhibition, being the first breed where polydactyly is an accepted and even desired trait. The pixie bob is the only breed where polydactyly is in the standard. TICA's standard allows up to 7 toes per paw in this breed that resembles a North American lynx. Breeder Carolyn Brewer, who founded the breed in 1985, deliberately included polydactyly as a distinctive feature. A curious fact, polydactyly is not exclusive to cats. It appears in humans, dogs, mice, and even dinosaurs. But in cats, it's particularly common and benign. Geneticist Axel Wissel from the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory demonstrated in 2012 that the same ZRS regulatory element exists in all vertebrates, a genetic piece conserved for hundreds of millions of years. The most extreme polydactyl cats are extraordinary. The current record, according to the Guinness Book of Records, belongs to Jake, a cat from Ontario, Canada, verified in 2002 with 28 toes. Each had its own complete bone structure, pad, and nail. The examining veterinarian confirmed that all toes were functional. There's a popular myth that polydactyl cats are more intelligent. There's no scientific evidence to support this. However, a study from the University of Liverpool documented that polydactyl cats show more complex manipulative behaviors with objects, probably because their extra paws allow for greater dexterity, not greater intelligence. In popular culture, polydactyl cats have gained fame on social media. The Instagram account of Craig, a Canadian polydactyl cat, accumulated over 500,000 followers due to his paws that look like boxing gloves. The appearance of thumbs and large paws generates an aesthetic that cat lovers find irresistible. Polydactyly also interests human medicine. The same mutations in the SHU gene that cause extra toes in cats cause polydactyly in humans. Studying polydactyl cats helps understand congenital conditions in people. Dr. Laura Lettuce published that feline models have accelerated the understanding of congenital limb malformations. In summary, polydactyl cats are not rare or defective. They are carriers of a dominant genetic mutation in the sonic hedgehog gene that produces perfectly functional extra toes. They have navigated oceans, inspired writers, and helped science understand embryonic development. They are small genetic marvels with a history. If polydactyl cats fascinated you, subscribe to Cat Brothers and turn on the bell now. The next episode will debunk dangerous myths, toxoplasmosis and pregnancy. Real science against irrational fear. It's a topic every cat lover needs to know. We'll see you there.